really excited about our season. Our guys have been working extremely hard in practice. We're a young team, but we're a talented team, and they're working to try to get better every day. We've had some great practices, and we've had some guys try to step up and be leaders for us, which is going to be essential for such a young team. And but I'm excited about the direction we're going. I'm really anxious to see us play against someone else, which we'll do next Tuesday. But I think we can be a really good basketball team this year. So, questions? Willie and Tony Crocker would probably be the definite starters right now. Those would probably be the only two I'd say definitively would start if I had to pick right now. The other ones are up in the air, but I think that's a really good thing. I think we have some guys that are right there that are pushing for it. It's going to be determined by, number one, who knows our stuff, who knows what we're trying to accomplish, who understands the significance of playing every possession and competing every possession, who can do the little things for us. That's going to be big for this team this year. It's big for any team always, but especially with this team. Our margin for error is not as great as it was last year. It's not as big as it was last year. So the little things, and we need some guys that are willing to do all the little things, screen, get on the floor for loose ball. Blockouts are going to be huge, rebounding, communicating, all those things. And so Willie, because of his talent, Croc, because of his experience and how hard he plays, those will be the definite two. But then the other three still kind of up in the air right now.
You always talk about players having a love for the game and how well they practice and that kind of thing. Do you see that among the new guys?
Well, you see it among some of them. You see some of them that are starting to get that, starting to understand it. One of the things that happens sometimes with high school guys is a lot of times they're so talented they don't have to go hard. They think they're going hard, but they don't really understand what going hard or competing every possession, every second of every possession really is. And so sometimes the first few practices, the first week or so of practice, they're knocked back. And the ones that go on to become really good are the ones that understand they have to learn, and they're willing to learn. The ones that struggle at times, especially if they're talented enough, are the ones that don't think they have anything to change. Fortunately for us, all of our freshmen have been pretty good about wanting to get better and wanting to learn. And so because of that, we've had one bad day, and that was last Wednesday, and it was after our first time being off. We were off last Tuesday and last Wednesday. Wasn't a good practice. We were off this past Tuesday. We came back yesterday and had maybe our best practice. So I think we showed some maturity there. And, again, I think Willie has done a really good job of reminding guys the importance of coming back and, some things. I think Croc has done a really good job with that. I think Ryan Wright's done a good job with that.
Could you talk about Willie and his development and where he is from where he ended last year?
Well, he's in a lot better shape. That's the first thing. When you see him, especially when you see him in his jersey, you can tell the difference in his body. I think Willie lost about 10 or so pounds, but he looks more toned, more defined. He was already really strong, but it just looks different. He looks more mature, and his game is that way. I think he's more explosive. I think he's more confident, which he was always really confident, but he's even more because I think he knows it's his time, it's his team. I think he's going to have a heck of a year for us.
Jeff, obviously they're different players, but can you see parallels in Blake's transition from year one to year two with Willie?
Well, I think as far as the maturity is concerned, yes. You can definitely see that. I think both of them, Blake was better prepared as a sophomore because of his experiences as a freshman. I think Willie is better prepared. I think he knew how to prepare better. He had a really good summer as far as working and getting himself in really good shape. Now, as far as his game, there's some things that have been refined, and he's gotten better. But he was really good last year. I mean, you're talking about a freshman that averaged 15 a game and shot well over 45% and almost 40% from the three. He was really good last year. Now, towards the end of the year, he kind of tailed off a little bit, and whether it was because of fatigue or what, whatever it may have been. But, again, I've seen growth. Will it produce the same numbers as Blake? Certainly not rebound numbers, but scoring numbers could be there.
Jeff, talk about Cade. He's entering his junior year, and he's someone that's come off the bench for you for a couple of years and done some little things for you off the bench.
Cade's been really good for us, and he'll be really good for us again this year. He's been a guy that will kind of take on whatever role we need him to take on. We need him to be more consistent shooting the ball, and we also need him to be more consistent leading. You know, the bottom line is that Willie, Tony Crocker, and Cade Davis are the three guys that played a lot of minutes for us all season long. Cade was a double-figure guy as far as minutes are concerned. And with those three guys in our backcourt, you know, we really need to lean on them for experience. And Cade has been to 2 NCAA tournaments and has been an integral part of both teams that have done that.
What about you two freshmen, McDonald, Murray, Dowd, and Mason Griffin?
Yeah, they've been good. Tommy's been good just about every day. Tiny, initially for him, he was one of the ones that was knocked back a little bit. But I'll tell you what, he's had the past 4 or 5 days, he's been really, really good. And I don't think it's any surprise that that's happened when he's started to work a little bit more. He's getting there early, coming in on off days, staying after practice. He's doing those little things, and he's receptive. He wants to be really good. He knows how much we need him. And he's going to be really good for us. But both of those guys have done a really good job. All of our freshmen have. They really, really have. They've been really, really good for us so far.
Have you seen the two of them in practice? Do you see them being major contributors right away?
In practice, yeah, but when you get to games, you don't know. We need for them to be in whatever role that may be. Whether with Tiny, it may be just rebounding and screening. And giving us a low post presence. With Tommy, it's being a leader at that position, at the point guard position. Sometimes that's tough for a freshman to do that. But, again, those guys are going to have to grow up very quickly because we need them, as do we need all of our freshmen and all of our guys to be the team I think we can be this year.
What about the weight loss that Tiny's gone through last year? Did that change his game at all, or is it more just about allowing him to play his game for longer?
It didn't change his game. His game is expanding as we speak now. I don't think the weight loss changed anything specifically about his game, but like you said, I think it helped him where he can play for extended periods of time. He can move a little bit better. He can be a little bit more explosive. You're talking about losing almost 70 pounds with where he is now. And so he's in good shape right now. He's still trying to get in better shape. But he's a talented kid and can do a lot of things on the court.
You mentioned him, Tiny, is a guy that might just give you rebounds and stuff inside. What could he be, though, for you? What kind of skill set does he have? What do you envision for him?
Well, he can pass it. He can score it. He moves well for his size. He can run. He has great hands. He could be a guy that could score for us. But, again, we need him to fill whatever role we need him to fill. And sometimes when you come in, guys have a perception of who they think they are. And maybe that's who they've been on a certain level. When you move up to a different level, you have to understand how you have to work. And, again, he understands that. But he could do a lot for us this year. And I didn't mean to just say that that's all we need him to do is rebound. That's one of the things we need him to do. We need him to be a good player. And a good player does a lot of different things.
How do you see things working out with Willie at the point and Tommy Mason Griffin? Is that something that will be fluid through the first part of the season?
Well, they both can handle it. Both of them will have the ball. Certainly we want the ball in Willie's hands a lot. It may not be bringing the ball up the floor. It may be, we initiate and get him into something, whether him catching on the wing. Willie's going to have the ball a lot, and he's going to be a playmaker for us. When we recruited him from day one, that's what I told him he was, as a playmaker. Whether that's off the ball, on the ball, he's going to have the ball, and he's going to be able to make plays for us.